When you think of a city founder, what comes to mind? Probably someone who drew up the maps, planned the streets, right? But what about the person who builds a city's community? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the story of Helen Murphy Weber, the woman who truly gave Stockton, California, its heart and soul.
See, if you look at the official record, it's all about one man, Captain Charles Weber. But that's only half the story. Not even. So we really have to ask ourselves, who actually built Stockton?
Okay, think of it like this. Stockton's founding was really a tale of two builders. You had Charles Weber, the planner. He gave the city its skeleton, the streets, the parks, the land grants. But then you had Helen Murphy. She was the foundation. She provided the lifeblood, the community, the culture, the stability that turns a random spot on a map into a real home. And to understand how she developed that kind of strength, we have to go back, way back to the frontier that forged her.
Her story, you see, it doesn't begin in the sunshine of California. It starts much earlier, shaped and hardened by the tough realities of the North American frontier.
Helen was born in Quebec to Irish parents, and her early life was just a constant battle. First, it was trying to farm on rocky, unforgiving soil. So the family picked up and moved to Missouri, hoping for something better. But what they found was worse. Malaria swept through and took her mother's life. Absolutely devastating. But even heartbroken, the Murphy family wasn't broken. They looked west, toward the promise of California.
And what happens next? Wow. This is the real dramatic heart of her story. This is where a young woman does something almost unimaginable. A desperate, dangerous ride across the Sierra Nevada in the dead of winter.
So Helen was traveling with what's known as the Stephens-Townsend-Murphy Party. And you need to understand, this wasn't just another wagon train. This was the first one to ever successfully make it over the Sierra Nevada mountains. And the Murphy family, they were the backbone of the whole operation, making up nearly half of the entire group.
But by November of 1844, they hit a wall. They were trapped by snow, supplies were basically gone. The only way the main group was going to survive was a crazy, desperate plan. A small party had to ride ahead to get help. And the number chosen for this life-or-death mission? Just 6 people.
It was a journey that would push every single one of them to the absolute limit of human endurance. It lasted 25 grueling days.
And they had to cover 200 miles. 200 miles of treacherous, snow-covered, and completely uncharted territory.
And one of those 6 riders was 22-year-old Helen Murphy. Now think about this. At a time when women were expected to be fragile, to be sheltered, she chose to ride headfirst into what was almost certain death. That one decision completely shattered every convention of what a woman was supposed to be on the 1840s frontier.
I mean, their journey was just an unbelievable test of survival. They were crossing freezing rivers, dealing with near starvation, and navigating these insane mountain passes. And in the middle of all this, Helen becomes one of the very first European-American women to ever see Lake Tahoe. But let's be clear, they didn't make it on grid alone. Their survival was made possible because of crucial, life-saving guidance from the local Washoe people. Their knowledge of the land was the only reason those 6 riders made it through alive. So after surviving the impossible, Helen's journey eventually leads her to San Jose, and to the man who would become her partner in, building a city, Captain Charles Weber. This is where her story pivots, from pioneer to founder.
Their partnership was this perfect combination of vision and heart. You had Charles Weber, with his German pragmatism, providing the structure, the literal blueprint for a city. And then you had Helen, with her Irish faith, providing the soul, the social glue, the sense of real community. It was that powerful mix that really truly built Stockton.
She basically turned their home on Weber Point to the city's living room. I mean, through her incredible hospitality and the amazing garden she planted, it became the social and civic hub for everyone. So while Charles Weber was drawing the maps, Helen Murphy Weber was the one drawing the community together.
And her impact didn't just stop once Stockton was on the map. No way. Her quiet power kept shaping the city for decades, creating a legacy that would last.
Her whole life was a masterclass in leadership. She survived the catastrophic Great Flood of 1862. After her husband died in 1881, she didn't just sit back, she took over the management of the huge Weber estate, and she was an amazing administrator. And through it all, she never stopped her philanthropy, always committed to her faith and supporting Catholic institutions.
So, while Charles left behind maps and planning documents, things you can hold,
Helen's legacy is quieter, but it's just as profound. It's literally woven into the fabric of the community and the institutions she championed. That 150-year Weber family collection, that isn't just his legacy. It's a testament to their incredible partnership.
So the big question is, where can we actually see her influence today? Beyond the old documents and stories, is there a physical place in Stockton that just screams Helen Murphy Weber?
Oh yeah, her legacy is cemented right in the heart of the city, St. Mary's Church. This landmark, which her family supported so deeply, represents everything she brought to Stockton: faith, community, charity, a moral foundation. It's not just another building that Charles Weber planned. It is a living symbol of the city's soul, a soul that was nurtured into existence by Helen Murphy Weber.
This biographical sketch is brought to you by the Sunnyvale Historical Society and Museum Association. For over 70 years, bringing history to life through the stories of westward-bound pioneers. And History Expeditions, faithfully retracing the steps of America's most notable trailblazers over the Sierra Nevada.